All right, welcome back, everybody. We're doing something a little different on this video. So, if you guys have noticed, I've been making a lot of videos lately. I'm pretty tapped out of this set. I don't really go on Twitter or anything like that, so I have no way to really reach out to the devs. And I kind of want this as an explanation to my viewers. So I've played every single set of TFT, right? Like it's I love TFT. It's probably one of my favorite free to play games. Like it's engaging. I have a lot of times where I'm laughing playing it. But there's something wrong with this set where I feel like for the first time in my TFT history, I'm actually stepping away. Like I've been very consistent with like 2 to 3 videos a day for the last couple sets, even on the sets where I didn't enjoy them as much. This set, I'm just tapped out. I'm not a professional player. I usually am in diamond. And even this set, I don't really want to finish my climb to diamond. I know I can get there, but I just don't want to because the meta right now is just so gross. I don't have fun playing any of the lines. That's a me problem. That's for a different day. But I want to talk about the good things first about this set. And I think I only have like really two good things. I think the units were pretty well done. Well, Casante I think is terrible. The assassin build right now is very bad. But we'll get to that a little bit later. And then the traits prismatic, they did something different this set where they introduced like a new chase system, which was really cool. Like you had to get your 8 out of 8 or whatever it is, and then you had to hit like a prerequisite, right? So it's like, okay, we got all the units on the board, but now we need to hit a thing. At the beginning of the set, like everyone was kind of playing it. There was seemed to be really easy to hit, but like the meta wasn't super solved yet. And we weren't in this spot right now where like it's just so like blah. Like you just have like two meta comps that are just dominating lobbies, and if you try to play anything else, you're just not gonna have fun. So like I feel like they're a little bit too hard to hit, but I do think that they in a competitive game, like if I try to run a Prismatic um in Emerald right now, like I just wouldn't hit. Like there's just no way. And I think that's the same for a lot of people. I could go play normal and have some fun doing that, but I just don't really enjoy normals. I do like the competitive type lobbies. But I think, yeah, units I think were really well done this set. I think lots of them are very interesting. Not as many copy pastes as last set. I think that was like a very big thing last set is like you just had a lot of units that were reprints, not copy pastes or reprints. This set, there's obviously a couple reprints. You can't like it's just so hard, I think, for TFT to have brand new units every single set with like, new mechanics we haven't seen before. It's just too much. You're always gonna have some reprints designed slightly different and like the power of them being altered a little bit, but overall I think like that part of this set was really well done. The things I want to talk about very quickly though is the balancing in the set for the negatives. Now this is a little bit more into the negative side of things, just refresh myself here. The balancing is let's leave it at that. The balancing in this set's been absolutely atrocious. I knew it was going to be rough when I saw like our first, I think it was our first ever D patch, like A, B, C, then D. I don't even know. Maybe they went to E. I wasn't really paying. I stopped paying attention to that patch, honestly. I don't think I've ever seen that done before. I've played a lot of TFT, and like to me, I was like, man, we're already on a D patch. Like that is wild. Like I definitely think it was like a more dog diff this patch where you could just definitely tell he didn't have his hands on as much. I'm not trying to like crap on the other devs. Like you guys worked really hard at this. I know like for the people that made this set, this is your baby. So to have everyone jumping on Twitter and just dropping, their hate on it probably doesn't feel too great, but at the same time, like the end result is we're the players and we have to enjoy the content that's being given to us, right? And if it's not fun for people, like they're obviously going to vocalize that because that's what we kind of sign up for. The meta pages are the next thing I want to talk about. I know like a couple sets ago, I don't remember when all TFT blurs together to me now. Like it's all just one big set at this point. I've played so long, but a couple sets ago they got rid of like the meta stats for augments because they had like I don't know the exact like science behind it. There's like a way to scrub the stats after gameplay and you can just see like what the best augments were in every situation. Now I don't think we really have that per se, or maybe there's some people that are still doing it but more secretively. But I do know that like there's the professional level recommendations for augments of what people should be playing and things like that, and that's still like people still use that, but like I still like to explore my own. I think that was the last thing they really did where like they adjusted how the metas were being played. That being said though, like it still exists. Like a lot of people can just go on and completely copy paste the comp, and there's nothing wrong with that. Do what you gotta do to get your LP, right? But it does make for a little bit more of a dry game for someone like myself that's just trying to do wacky stuff and have fun. The copy paste is the next part on that. Like it is really bad this set. I remember in like gold and I think plat, there's a little bit more people kind of playing around, still having fun, but like in all my lobbies now, I only see 2 comps and maybe a third comp. or 2 comps and me trying to do something that doesn't make sense. And usually I'm just donating LP, but I'm still trying to make something wacky to have fun and be like, hey, look what I did. That's the kind of content I enjoy making. But like the copy paste is like really, really heavy this set. Like you can like look at someone's like their starting items, the units they got, and I can pretty much tell you what items they're gonna build. They don't differ from it either. Like they don't just slam an item that's not recommended right out the gate, just have an item on their boards. Like they'll wait till they get all those items and build them out perfectly as it's shown online. It's like crazy. But that's happened before in the previous sets, but at least you just get punished for it. The next thing I want to talk about is I think that so Riot, and this might be a controversial topic, but the professional players bring in a large audience, right? Like they bring in a lot of people that make the game exciting, they engage, you watch your favorite streamer, you maybe watch the finals, you see the best of the best playing, it makes you hyped up to play some TFT, right? Same thing with like last set, like Arcane was big. Like every time I'd go watch an Arcane show, I was like, oh, I can't wait to get and play some TFT. Like there's certain things that drive a game. Oh, we're gonna have to rewind this a little bit. Hit the reset there. There's certain things that drive TFT, right? And like professional engagement is lots, and I think that because like the pros are kind of the ones that steer the meta a lot of times, like whatever they say or they complain about TFT, like the devs will kind of like more lean into that and be like, okay, let's try to make them happy. Which I think when you do that, it takes a degree of fun away from the casual player. The people that don't care, they don't watch YouTube videos, they don't watch pros play. They just log in once every 2 weeks and then like, you know, say like even in normals, like I'm sure if I went and played normal right now, lots of these comps would be being played normals for the people that don't like the pressure of a ranked game, but still want to have like, you know, play a fun game of TFT. They're just going to copy paste in a normal game. And that's like, if I was playing normals and I was like, you know, casual player, I saw everyone playing the same comp, I wouldn't have fun in my TFT game. I'd be like, wow, this is like, no one's playing something neat or fun or cool. It's just everyone's playing the same 2 comps, right? Like it's not super entertaining. There's not a lot of skill expression there, like where you're like, oh, I'm going to try something different and be rewarded. And now like we are getting towards the end of a set. So like the meta is extremely solved. But I remember in previous sets, this goes back to the balancing and the meta pages. So I think if you would take like TFT as an example, I'm gonna use that one because it's pretty popular right now. I think they only have like 2 things in S tier. Whereas I remember in like set 11, there was something, I think, yeah, set 11 had like encounters. It was a very weird mechanic. No, it didn't land too well. There's like some like Hungry Hippo game you'd play with Tom Cantry, you had to like catch fish. Then there's like working out with Set. Just like weird stuff. I don't know. Like, it was, they tried something. It didn't completely fly. But that being said, I remember on their meta pages towards the end of that set, I think there was like maybe like 6 or 7 comps in A, like maybe like 8 comps in S. B had around the same, and C was like a more conditional line where it's like, if you hit this condition, like you're probably going to do really well. This is another comp you could play. We don't really see that anymore. Like it's like A's and S's are pretty much playable, but the balance is so bad right now that if you just have everyone playing S tier comp, it comes down to who hit first. And that I think is very unhealthy. Like there's not, to go from like S to A is like a pretty big jump where you might not hit like, you know, top 4, depending on what everyone else is playing in the lobby. And to play B is like, you gotta be someone like me that's just like out there clowning and just have fun, right? That's another thing I think is pretty big in this set right now, which I think is like the balancing is very, very off right there. Like in previous sets, you used to be able to be punished. So if you saw like, even like last set, like I could like look on like, you know, I'd be scouting in a diamond game, like, oh, this player's playing this line. Okay, I have a couple units, but I'm not going to contest him because like they have a better start. Oh, this player's playing that line. Okay, what lines are still open? You don't really have to worry about in this set. Like there's been games where like 4 people play Star Guardian, all 4 go top 4. Like that's not healthy TFT. Like back in the day, you'd be punished if you weren't playing like, you know, your own line and trying to play as uncontested as possible. Like you were not going to top 4 if you're like, you know, run. Maybe you'd have like 2 people playing the same comp. One guy gets like a 3rd or 2nd, the other guy gets a 1st. But like now it's like you don't get punished. You can just run the same comp as everyone else. It really comes down to who hits first, right? Going on from that, I think with this is going back to the units. They said a long time ago they're going to get rid of assassins. Like anyone that can just jump your backline and completely delete your only carry is just not good for TFT. They've said that before. I was kind of excited when they made that change. And then they bring back someone like Akali. Now I know it's like a one-off champion, but she's a little bit harder to position around, which makes you like really more reliant on frontline carries that you can't one-shot. And Cassandra, I think, is the most toxic unit they've ever made in TFT. Like a unit that can reanimate itself, where like pretty much every meta comp right now has like just one like random Cassandra thrown into it. Even if it doesn't have a synergy, it's like you throw a couple of useless items on that you need for fillers. You let him get like worked over, reanimate. He's just like a free second like win tank. I think that's a poor design. I really hope they don't bring that back. And yeah, oversimplifying. That's the other thing. So like I said before, I like to make like the wacky comps and goofy stuff, try to build things like people wouldn't see often. Another player that's really, really good for this is Leduc. He's kind of a player that I'd model the kind of way I'd play off of if I play more like ranked and try to do like weird builds in ranked. I don't know if Leduc necessarily does that, but Leduc is really good at like pushing weird artifact builds, coming up with like weird synergies between these set mechanic and set items. Like it's very entertaining to watch because they're bringing like a different element to the game. And they oversimplified the items a little bit, and I think they tried to do that to reduce clutter for new players because it's a little overwhelming. But before like I could see something like, and I'm gonna go to like set 10. I think it was Cassante in set 10 was like or we can go to Rel in set, when was Enforcers a thing? Well, I said the set before, set 13 maybe? Yeah, set 13 with Enforcers, I think it was. Um Rel was a unit you could play, right? And Rel had like a 500% AP multiplier. So I have games where I give him like an arc staff and just like try to make him AP and just have fun watching him like just be an AP tank when he was not designed to be that way. He was meant to have tank items, right? And they removed those kind of stats from the units where you can see like, oh, this unit has like a 500% AP multiplier. Like that's really cool. They removed that, and I think it was maybe because it's overwhelming for other people to look at. But I like those little hidden stats, right? Because then you could build something wacky and be like, oh man, no one has ever seen this before. Like I found this unit that has like a really cool AP scaling. We cut in these like different like item builds to see like how we can make that work. I missed that. I think they got rid of that. That's kind of sad for me to see. Anyways, this is me at this point. I'm just kind of ranting. The game's almost over again anyway. Let me know what you think about this set, how you feel about it. I'm pretty much tapped out. I think the balance is terrible. I don't think a lot of people are having fun. Pros are leaving. Casuals are leaving. There's some people that just don't play TFT anymore that I used to watch. They just went to different games. That's kind of sad to say, but even myself, like I don't play a lot of League of Legends. I've been playing Summoner's Rift. Like I'm out there in freaking my little silver Amumu running around, June jungling. I'm having a blast because I'm more in control and I can kind of choose my adventure with that, even though like, the game's pretty toxic and whatnot. I'm still having fun. But in this set, like I don't feel like I have any like freedom of expression and like the ability to really make something like unique and fun and have like a lot of big laugh moments. Like I think this is my final point on this. I think when you get like a lobby that's just a lot of people copy pasting, I think there's very few people that behind the camera are actually enjoying it. They're just trying to climb and they're just going through the motions of like, hey, print this unit, build this unit, build this unit. And that to me like makes TFT, and maybe I might be wrong. Maybe they're having a blast. But for me, when I see the same comp every game where I can know what items they're going to build, what they're building, and who will top 4 before I've even made it to like, the end of stage 3, I'm like, oh, I'm just a bot for I know this. It's boring for me and it makes it very sad. Anyways, if you're far better at the game than myself, let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm kind of curious to see what you think on the professional level. And if you're a viewer, sorry I haven't been around making content, but I'd rather play a game that I enjoy a little bit more than this set. And I will be back for next set for sure. Hopefully they fix some of the things that are a problem on this set. Anyways, guys, thanks for listening to my rant and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.